I'm the next Floyd. I'm the next Sugar Ray. They can hate me. It is what it is.
So Canelo Alvarez gave his prediction and thoughts on Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez unification, where Canelo said it's going to be a complicated fight, but I believe Oscar Valdez will come out with the victory since he has more experience. That was Canelo Alvarez's prediction, where he believes Oscar Valdez's experience will be the X factor.
La pelea de Oscar Valdez y Shakur Stevenson va a ser una pelea muy buena, va a ser una pelea complicada, pero creemos en Oscar. Oscar es un peleador muy disciplinado, muy metido en lo suyo y aparte tiene mucha experiencia y vamos a ganar si Dios quiere.
Now that remains to be seen come April 30. That theory will be put to the test when Oscar Valdez faces Shakur Stevenson. We all know the pioneer of the NBF league in the sport of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, is still making excuses till this day to why he lost to the little grandpa, Floyd Mayweather, who was 36 years old, fighting at his 5th weight class. Canelo always blames the loss on the experience because he doesn't want to face the fact that he's just inferior to the Michael Jordan of boxing, Floyd Mayweather. So he resorts to making up excuses after losing to the weakest form of Floyd Mayweather, not Pretty Boy, but Money May, the weakest version of Money Mayweather. Back when Canelo was entering his prime at 23 years old with 43 fights as a professional, 8 years experience as a unified champion after beating Trout, Canelo still chose to make excuses even though he was tapping into his prime. We know Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet as an undisputed champion only at 22 years old. Meanwhile, Canelo growing up in Mexico was called the baby Mexican Mike Tyson, born ready to make excuses.
I'm not ready. I was born ready.
Canelo, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Therefore, we have the honor to have Shakur Stevenson put this Canelo Alvarez theory to the test as far as experience. Let's see how far Oscar Valdez's experience gets him. He's 31 years old, in his prime. He has all of the experience in the world. He's still undefeated. He has all of the advantages over Shakur Stevenson, the so-called not experienced fighter. My prediction is that Oscar Valdez's experience will get him closer to the canvas than victory, because skills pay the bills. Experience doesn't pay the bills. So you can mark my word, come fight night, Shakur Stevenson will tattoo his name on Oscar Valdez's face. In fact, you're going to see a lot of different tattoos, such as experience doesn't pay the bills, skills do. NBF season is over. So is herbal tea. And many other tattoos that you may not even recognize Oscar Valdez after the fight. I mean, we've seen this experience story unfold too many times. Lomachenko experience didn't save him against Tio. Sonny Liston experience didn't save him against Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali was only 22 years old. Muhammad Ali experience didn't save him against Larry Holmes when Muhammad Ali was 36 years old. Chavez Sr. experience didn't save him against the young Oscar De La Hoya. In fact, 99% of the times, the younger fighter beats the older fighter, which what makes what Floyd Mayweather did even more impressive. He's like really the exception that I know of, which what makes Floyd Mayweather TBE. And Canelo still has the audacity to make experience excuses. So put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on my name.
See, leading up to this fight, Canelo trainer Eddie Reynoso said that African American fighters have a difficult style, which is the exact reason why Canelo created the NBF league in the sport of boxing, where Canelo is the pioneer of the NBF Witness Protection franchise. The truth is, Canelo can't live with his failure. That's why he resorts to making excuses. See, if Canelo truly felt that he only lost to Floyd Mayweather because of experience, then Canelo would have had fought the Charlo twins and Andrade by now to prove it. Instead, it's the contrary. Canelo turned down $50 million plus pay-per-view to fight Charlo. He also surrendered his WBC belt to his mandatory Charlo, where Canelo vacated the WBC belt when he was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo, just like Oscar Valdez vacated his WBO belt when Shakur Stevenson was his mandatory at 126. Also, Canelo turned down $40 million guaranteed to fight Andrade for undisputed. That's how we know Canelo doesn't even believe the excuses he was making after Floyd Mayweather retired, in which his own trainer told on him when he said that African American fighters have a difficult style. And ironically, the last time Canelo Alvarez fought an undefeated Black American fighter was 9 years ago when he lost to Floyd Mayweather. What a coincidence. Ever since then, Canelo has been ducking the Fabulous Four of his time, despite everyone asking him and requesting him to do so. From Chavez Sr., Barrera, Morales, Marquez, Oscar De La Hoya, Hopkins, even Shakur Stevenson wants to see Charlo versus Canelo. To make matters worse, even Ryan told Canelo to his face, "You need to fight Charlo." Despite all of that, Canelo action says, "Heck no. Y'all want me to lose? I don't care what Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Shakur, Ryan, Oscar De La Hoya, Chavez, I don't care what anybody say. I'm not fighting these Black American fighters. They simply too good. They too difficult. AKA, they are horrible fighters. See, Avini, Rocky Fielding, Makabu, they not horrible fighters. But Andrade is? Canelo even said, "I'm willing to fight Jake Paul." However, he told Andrade, "I will never fight you." Even for his biggest payday at the time, $40 million guaranteed for undisputed. After Canelo made a promise that he will become the first middleweight undisputed champion from Mexico. So the moral of the story, Canelo is still the same fighter today that fought Floyd Mayweather. The only thing he learned is to never again fight an undefeated Black American fighter the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Crawford, Errol Spence, Charlo, and Andrade. This is the reason why Canelo has been on a European tour ever since he lost to Floyd Mayweather and robbed Erislandy Lara. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.
These same writers out here, they praise Canelo. You got so many young champions. Come over here. They'll overlook guys. Come on over here. Come on. Hammer. They'll overlook guys. They'll overlook guys like you. Unbelievable fighter. One of the best fighters in the sport of boxing today. One of the best. They'll overlook guys like you. Little young kid right here. They'll overlook him. But you can take a guy like Canelo. This guy can do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Fucking easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Floyd, we just recently saw Canelo win undisputed at 168. As a person the only person that's defeated him, what have you seen of yourself in Canelo as of the last couple of years after he fought you?
Same fighter. It's the same fighter. It's crazy that it was like Canelo in his prime. He'd have been a different fighter. When I fought him, he was in his prime. If you go back and look at me, I was the best when I was in my 20s. When I fought Canelo, I was almost 40 years old.